Hello, ladies and gentlemen. James here. You know, I want to give my thoughts on social media and what's really going on these days. After I made this other video, I've been thinking about the Kyrie urban situation, the Kanye certain situation, the thing with Twitter, Elon Musk, and and the freedom of censorship. You know, it seems like when it comes to particularly an ethnic group like black people, and I would encourage other ethnic groups to is basically have your own platform. Get one of these major platforms, get an audience, and have your own platform, and find out a platform that it won't mess with your amendments. Because I'm gonna tell you something. When someone penalizes somebody for just putting up a link, I mean it's getting really ridiculous. And they didn't say anything. And you can't be political. You can't be offensive. I can see if someone was sending threats, showing something really outrageous, like sexual assault, showing naked children or something like that, or something like that. I understand. Definitely want something like that. But it seemed like with social media, it's just your freedom is limited. I mean, you got Twitter, Google, Facebook, and these other ones, and it just seemed like you can't really express how you want to express to your audience, and it's like you really don't have no freedom. Then it seems like the politicians are trying to distract people from thinking that they're going to be it's too much stuff on the internet and influence. It was like this case with the guy that attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband out there in California, and the first thing they said it was influences. Even before the internet was ever at the level that it is information, people were already doing crazy stuff. People were already doing violence. And how did they do violence? Video games and movies. So the movies and the video games give the people an idea what to do something crazy. Whether it's to go out there and harm other people or assault people in some kind of way. And I look at it this way, and they think that if we can get it off, it won't be promoted. But people are going to, that's their opinion, number one. Number two is that this is always going, you can't, it seems like in this society, it would, it's like some people want to get rid of the guns. It's not the guns is the problem. It's the people it's the psychological problem, that they have mental problems. And we don't know what that person that got some deep-rooted issues is, whether they're a criminal, whether they're a predator or whatever. But they're going to do what they're going to do. But it seems like we live in this society that think that if we shut down this, we won't promote this, they're going to promote that. But other people find other way. They can't even stop cyber attacks in different countries, but yet somehow they attack. You got other countries that attack the United States cyber system, and I mean, it's going to happen. You got scammers out there that use these platforms for their own use. They're going they'll zip on YouTube, and they'll put a porn site in someone's chat. You got someone that promote a product, and somebody who have, and then make it seem like it's them that get telling the email them back, and I got some personal business information for you. And all you can do is be careful, and you don't have to respond. And then you have the thing. It's sad that what's going on with children that commit suicide, but it's up to the parents to really to govern what they watch, and have more communication with their, keep them and tell them that they're valuable in life no matter what happens. And you have to be very careful what your kids watch. That's it. But as far as the hate speech, there's always going to be someone, and I said this before, they're going to get it out one way or the other. There's hundreds of thousands of websites that, let's say a hate group or a terrorist group, they're going to get their message out one way or the other. If someone is a sadistic group or mass murders, they're going to get their message out one way or the other. You can't shut down everything. And stop it. People gonna do what they're gonna do. It'd be nice just to that you can't catch everybody. You can't catch everybody. You don't know who's gonna be the next school shooter or going to the store. You don't know. But if you but by you thinking that getting rid of the guns and shut down media, people gonna act crazy anyway. So what you do is you gotta deal with the mental aspect of it. And I think it should be a mental evaluation when it comes to, especially when it comes to weapons. Maybe it might get to the point to check out a mental evaluation when someone get online. I mean, it's the truth, but you can't. We live it. It's almost like they trying to limit your speaking ability. Now get back to the Kyrie and Kanye situation. That was the freedom. I heard what he said. He didn't say anything against the people, any group of people, particularly Jewish people. It's going to get to the point you can't even say the word Jewish no more. I mean, it's getting that bad. Like these are people, and then there are some Jewish people. I'm going to repeat this if someone hears this on YouTube algorithm. There are some Jewish people who are wealthy. It's like any other people who are wealthy. That's a fact. You can't, that can't be considered anti-Semite when it's the truth. There are some people that are fact. It is some truth that there's certain things they've done in history that goes back centuries and centuries. The books are out there. That's fact. Just like any other religion. It's fact. It's crazy. But it's like you can't even tell. It's almost like today, there's a certain demographic of people that want to tell you that they want the mainstream to learn this truth, but they don't want to tell you the reality of truth. It's almost like they want you to be delusional and don't talk about something like that. And then when it came to the Kyrie and Kanye situation and other people, even if a person is a white nationalist, even though trust me, I don't think too highly of them, but at the same time, that person have the right to speak what they want to speak, and it's your choice if you want to turn to the channel, and if you want to listen to their rhetoric, what is outrageous and how extreme it is, they're gonna do it anyway. They got certain genres. It's almost like you're trying not to show war. There's war. Their war. War is war. War is gruesome. We don't want people to get traumatized. If we show but when you go to the foreign stations, they show you this what war is going on. They only show you what certain things. They don't tell you everything, but they show you the reality and it's up to you if you want to watch it or not, and choose to entertain it or not. But it's like people can't even have a voice of opinion, and even though no matter how it rhetoric, if I disagree with it, they still have the right to free speech, and you can't stop an individual that if they take something from somebody, information. It's like they try to fault, for example, Donald Trump for what happened with January 6th. Let me explain something to you. Grown people gonna do what they gonna do. It was already in those people. That's what it was already in them. To go up and charge that White House. It was already in people. We've been going through this, and I don't know, we live in a delusional land. America was founded on violence and debauchery. It truly is. It's founded on violence. That's a fact. I mean, it's so much bloodshed shit in this land. Like in any other part of the world, it's not even funny. And there's some things in history you will be surprised. For example, I was hearing this one guy who's on YouTube, and he's basically he's a bishop pastor, and he was explaining how the way, for example, how certain holidays like Columbus Day, how the way everybody celebrate Columbus, but when it comes to telling the ordeal on who Columbus really is, they don't want to talk about it. But the people who been told from generation to generation, the indigenous people and Central African people, what this man did in other parts of the world, it was gruesome what he did to women and children. But yet you have a society that don't want to hear about that. But the truth is going to come out. I said, and if there's someone listening to this video, you can't stop truth. It's going to get out. If someone's going to violently, it was already in them to do it. It didn't take the social people think it's the social media. It was already in them to do it. Before any of these social medias was even kicked off in the last 15 years, people were already committing violence. They were already doing crazy things. Trafficking people, trafficking children, trafficking women. They were already doing this. All this thing they did was up on it. Do I excuse it? No. But it goes to show you, if it was before the time of the internet, it ain't gonna stop it. The only thing you do is try to cut down off of it, cut it down, but it's not gonna be prevented. And this is the reality of the world. We in a technology age that we are in. Now I'm kind of glad when it comes to Elon Musk taking over, because some of the stuff they were they getting one society opinion on politics and not hearing the other side of politics. And it's a public platform, and whether you agree with it, whether you left wing, right wing, Republican, Democrat, you should have a voice. That's what America is really about. It's about a voice that we should have. We should have a voice. No one. People going to, and it seemed like, and then these politicians, what they did was, they think that, well, by this media, social media, the information age. But newspapers can make you mad. Do we shut down the news? Did we shut down? Because you have half the newspapers are already out of business. Do we do that? How long do we have to stay programmed? Why is that we have to be programmed to one thing? Why can't we ask questions? Why is it that it's programmed to one way or the other? And like I mentioned with January 6th, but even though whatever your opinion is about Trump, whether you like him or not, but it was already in that. There were already people committing riots. There's already been a revolution. That wasn't the first time something like this happened at the White House. Hundreds of years ago, that happened. But 2 or 3 centuries ago, there were riots, there were war at the White House. You had to find it out in books because of one party versus the other party. One with Boston Tea Party, you had people finally, but someone had to get the story out to tell what happened. And you see the gruesome pictures. Some people had to paint the pictures to show you how the massacre was. And young people are going to find out. Young people are going to find out the truth. You can't. They're going to find out. It's just in young people. They want to know questions, and they're going to want to know why. You can't control their truth. They're going to find out. If someone's a racist, bigoted person, they're going to find out. I'm in my 50s. I've lived life. This stuff that I've seen things that most people have experienced things. That's why I can tell you from experience. And there's some things that I didn't know until, thanks to social media, other people go have a story to tell about what they experienced. And because sometimes it can feel like, is it me? And as I'm going through this, because this person going through the same experience. That's what human beings do. We bond over. We have a connection. And this is the truth. But yeah, you can't stop somebody if it's already in them. If they're violent, they're gonna commit violence. We would like to stop for people to stop murder, but they're gonna do what they're gonna do. The only thing you can do is try to, catch them, put them in jail and prison. If they steal a car, or they rob somebody, or they harm somebody. But you can't, or if they harm someone innocent, well, a woman or a child, or a man too, an elder too. They're gonna do it anyway. I'm justifying? No. Before it was, they were doing it anyway. Sometimes it could be social media can be used for a good thing to help law enforcement. Because some people, since they got the devil and something demonic in them to do something, maybe some things can be prevented. And then it could be a teaching lesson instead of just trying to shut things down and shut it out. I'm just assessing my opinion. But when it comes to social media, it is what it is. We are in a technology stage, and they're trying to figure out a way to control it. It's out there. Someone's going to get some form of crazy stuff, and then if you don't, most people don't know what goes on in little towns or small cities, or in someone's household. If somebody didn't show it, you got some people that rob a bank. If some idiot didn't show it, or someone steal a car. If someone didn't show it, and they said, well, that's promoting it. In a way it is, but in another way, this stupid person that promoted it, who stole, like these people that stealing cars, they only go, when the cops catch up to them, the law enforcement catch up to them, and like these predators online and stuff like that, they're gonna catch up to them. So sometimes it's good that sometimes we at a stage you're gonna see the reality. You can't hide. There's certain things you can't hide. And as far as certain nudity things and certain things like that shouldn't be in front of children's eyes, it's funny that they mention that. But you got people that go to an LGBTQ parade and be young girls and young boys, and and they run around in men in their jock straps, and they got their butt cheeks hanging out, and they taking pictures and stuff. This is a fact. You know, you glance at the video when they have their parades. Like, man, they all. It's not like some people are fully dressed. Some of the people are out there showing everything.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And it's the truth. So do we shut them down? No. And this is not being anti, but this is the truth. Being anti-LGBTQ? No, I'm not. I'm just pointing something out. So, but people are going to show it. They're going to show it in video. They're going to show it on TV. They show it right on TV. And then they dictate what you want to see, even though you want your kids to see it. But if you don't, then it gets offended. Talk about that. Imagine a grown man, a grown woman, practically butt naked in front of some stranger children, walking down the parade. Not like the Mardi Gras is closed, but that they do. If you glance at on the news, I don't want to go to parades, but if you did, you would see what they do, and you see like, what the heck? This not just the people a man dressing up in women's garments and stuff like that. I'm talking about these dudes. They practically naked. But yet, I wonder will social media shut them down? And they probably got their stuff on social media somewhere. Probably on Google and Facebook and stuff like that. What I'm saying is it is a double standard. We shouldn't want that. No buckle don't want to see their kids watching that stuff. In fact, it gets to the point that the perversion even coming towards the schools. They had some situation here. Talk about adult items, about adult activity in the bed, in front of children on sexual positions. It's coming to your schools. And putting it right in front of you. So you got little young children learning this stuff. So really, I say that this to anybody, YouTube, anybody, it's already there. The perversion is already there. It is being promoted. It's the truth. Whether some people disagree with what I'm saying, it's the truth. You see it on the news, and they try to show you a snippet of it, but you see it. And then got parents is outraged about it. Like, wait a minute, I don't want my kid learning something like this. Look what they do. They did up there in Michigan. They try to push their plan and try to teach children. And say, hey, and they said, we ain't got nothing against these group of people, but I don't want my child to learn something that's adult. I want them still have the innocence of a child, the innocence of the children. But you guys, society, don't want to do that. You have a political party that don't want to do that. You have a political party that sacrificed children. Is in the closet, and there's documentaries on that about it. And this ain't just happening in the year. It's been going on for centuries. Is I'm justifying it? No, but you can't. But you can't. What I'm saying, you can't stop You can't stop the truth. It was out there. Certain religions promote it. That's a fact. Certain religions, a child bride, that's a fact. You got grown adults that marry a child, and one of them have to be what Kyrie was talking about. That's a fact. It's out there. It's out there in video. People tell you what they have to do. They marry their child off at the age of 8, 9 years old. So they can be intimate with their child. They don't wait till they get of age. They don't want to talk about that. But and if you do something like that, and if you talk and when you discriminate against them, they get the same civil rights organizations and sue you. This is how jacked up the world is right now. Just like, I was making a video and somebody got mad, and some people got mad, but it's true. Like when it came to every year, the Jewish people, like the Christians, put this symbolicism of their religious symbol. But not only that they did that, when I say that the Klan did that, people got mad. I said, and said, how's that they can do that? I said, because technically they're up under a religious organization. Even though whatever the rhetoric that's spewed out their mouth of them being a superior race and everything, but technically if you stop them, they can sue you. So that's how they're able to. That's why when you go into cities, they have to have cops there. This is fact. You might not want to accept this, but they can choose and still do that and go up under the amendment of doing that. And it's like, it's horrible to see someone out there screaming in rhetoric and hatred and rhetoric and really rhetoric that's we're proud of our race and we don't want to mix race and things like they say these things like that. It's ugly, but the reality of it is it's out there. Before the internet was on. They were doing it before the internet. Before YouTube, before Facebook, before Twitter, they were doing this stuff. And they had to show it to let people know what's going on. Why is it a big event like that? But maybe if they don't show it, it won't stop the people from coming down who opposes that, who looking to get into a conflict, a violent fight with that. But if you don't show it, people will never know it. They're going to find out one way or the other. And so one thing about Elon Musk with the Twitter situation, it's good. And so because people, there's only things that they couldn't express certain views, because they belong to a certain group or party, and they allowed one party to express and another party that didn't. And that's wrong. And whether you agree with somebody, now I don't like it if someone used some like racial names, of course. I don't like that either. But you can get it, but they're gonna find it, build up a website, take their followers, and spew out their rhetoric. It's nothing you can do. And people support it. But yeah, and it's just like those people at the Capitol. It was already in them. People are like, oh my God, I can't believe this. We live in a violent country that was based on violence, based on war. We have civil war here. There's always been violence in the cities and spilled out in other places. There ain't no safe place. There ain't gonna be no safe place anymore. Not really. And here's the sad thing is, that's the reality. That's why you gotta have a gun. Because somebody can break in your house. Because times are getting rough, and they're gonna get they're getting worse and worse. So people gonna act out worse and worse. So if they see something that you got, they're gonna do it. Look what they're going in these stores, stealing stuff, taking people's cars, taking their Cadillac converters, taking their personal cars, breaking their homes, busting their business. That's how we live in a time. People don't care. But but not saying that, not showing it, ain't gonna stop it. It's gonna happen either way. Is someone influenced to do? Hopefully, your some child don't learn something to be rebellious and get on drugs and alcohol. But the way it just take one time, sometimes it could be someone in their neighborhood that influenced them to do something. How did this child get on drugs and alcohol and have all these emotional problems? It ain't always online. The reality, what I'm saying, you can't shut, you can prevent, you can't shut everything down. And we live in a society that is like, it's not gonna happen in my neighborhood. There ain't no, now you may not have someone robbing your neighborhood, but sooner or later, the robbers come, the thieves come. Because when people don't got nothing and they have a criminal mind thinking, who they gonna go to first? They're gonna go out there, they're gonna go where the money's at. Who got the money? That's what people do. They're gonna go out there anyway, but if the news don't report it, and the news don't like to report that. But there's people out there can get their house broken in, business broken in, and stuff like that. But if you don't report about it, how do you know? You know, what I'm saying is that the figure of speech has gotten outrageous, and my feeling on, even I was watching other YouTubers. One guy was talking about, he left YouTube, a couple guys left YouTube, and I saw they were talking about how to do technical service. And YouTube start messing with their page. I'm like, what is it? One guy, he was in the tech field, techie things, and they start coming at his channel. So, he got tired of it. They messing with the algorithm and everything. Like, wow, man. And some people fed up. So, what's a good thing about these other platforms, they gonna get as big as YouTube and Facebook and whatever. And it's gonna be probably to the point that you ain't gotta deal with no one shutting your opinion down. You ain't gotta deal with that. And rightfully so. You should be able to express your opinion. Even if someone don't like it, they don't have to go to your page. They don't have to listen to what you got to say. If they do, and someone's throwing part on it, they can make a opinion and keep it moving. If they don't, turn it off. That's what, if somebody you don't like, turn it off. Don't entertain it. There's people I've seen, I don't entertain they stuff. I'm not going, and whatever their opinion is, I've heard some radical things, but I wouldn't dare report on them or flag their channel, because that's their opinion. Whether you agree with it or not, at the end of the day, that's their freedom, that's their opinion. And the people if people gonna act, if they're gonna act out violently, that it was already in them. And we have a society that them adults, they were grown adults that went down into that Capitol. Well, Donald Trump did it. You can't blame it on him. They say certain words, but yeah, but even if he says certain words like, oh, I will fight like hell, something you say, yeah, something in your mind would say that don't take his words literally seriously. I mean, really, you're going to go up in the government building and threaten officials? I mean, like many people, I don't like some things that our state, local government, or federal government do, but I'm not going to go and threaten them and think that, but there's a mentality that people have, and those people, the ones that you've seen at the Capitol, that done that, in their mind, they never had no discipline in their family growing up. Number one. Number two is that they gotta understand the reality, and most of them never been the kind of people that have been oppressed. They never been oppressed and never really discriminated against. So naturally, they they can't handle. In other words, what some of black people go through, most of these people have never experienced what black people go through. I mean, could you imagine? They would want to experience the things just by the sight that someone sees you, and they don't know what your political belief is. They don't know what your sexual orientation is. There's people see your makeup of your features of your color. Instantly, they draw to the conclusion, and that's why always they see with their eyes and they see with their mind. When I say they see with their mind, they perception and assumption of what they've been told and what they've been taught when they look at a group of people. Not that other people don't go through prejudice and barriers, but I can say black people is one of the most hated groups of people in the planet, on the planet. Despised, mocked for their skin, called next to an animal. Black people, this is black people. Only that, and still people can't understand. And like I was watching Dr. Phil's the other day, and my heart goes out though about Arbery's family. But his father got on there, and he was saying that, expressing how the way what happened to his son, which I can understand that. But he said, I can't understand that. I said, and I know he's older than me. But the reality of it is, and even though that it was killed simply because of the color of his skin, people think that just went away. It's a spirit in his land. Racism, when it comes to certain groups of people, it's been around for centuries. And it jumped from one generation after another generation. This is a fact. There's some people, not everybody, that of that race got something against that race. That's common sense. Some people don't never encounter that until they hear somebody that come across someone that look like them, that speak ill will of other people, because they feel like you are the same ethnic makeup of. They can talk about any groups of people. You're not gonna get offended because you don't have no relationships, no friendships with these other groups of people. That's why they do that. And that's why they have prejudice, and that's why they have biases. And that's why they can go online and express it. And that's why they can make a mockery of it. They can joke about it because it's already in them. And some people know right from wrong. Some people know that it's wrong to do that. They know that's wrong. They know right from wrong. They know what's in their heart, but they choose not to, because they're clearly that they're ignorant. And some people in this society, ignorance is entertainment, is fun, and it's a self-centered mentality. That's what it is. And the reason why I kind of, like I said, it don't dismiss from other people who are of different nationalities, whether it was their religion, whether it was Muslim, Jew, Christian, whether they were woman, man, black, white, brown, tan, red, whatever. But there are certain groups of people under the Constitution. The reason why they never get no justice, true justice in this land, is because no group of people, there's not too many group of people was in the Constitution. And this is what our Aubrey's father don't understand. Black people are still 3/5 of a human being. I know God see that we're human. I know people who individually have a heart of all races see us as human. But in this country, it's seen. But when it comes to banking, medical, education, what did they do? When they pull out the stats, what they do? When it comes to some kind of this something that medical come around, what did they do? They use race. This is the truth. They use race. Even with this thing, when COVID came out, after we seen it, how it affect people in different parts of the country, now we got to figure out where did it come from, and what, and then we find where it come from. Then the next thing you know, what group of people mostly gonna have it? So guess what group they blame it on the most? Black people. First, they say they claim it came from Asia. So Asian people were going through this. This is in America. But the Asian community didn't like it and said put on the lower end people. Some Asian people, not all Asian, but some Asian people didn't want to be and I don't blame nobody. Nobody should be subjugated to that. And then so they put on black people. Well, why black people that they say is dying? Now, here's the common sense thing. The COVID, like the flu, like anything else, people getting sick, people are dying from every walk of life in the hospital. Other parts of the world, people were getting this and getting up on the machine, and some of the people survived, some of them make it, some of them passed away. But you have your Dr. Fauci, when want to make sure he sent on a race and said black people need to get the shot. Out of the whole race of people, black people got to be the only one to get the shot. See, your country, this is what they do. All walks of life of people, whether they were Hispanic, white, whatever race of people got, it's a virus. They got the virus. It don't matter what their religion is. Don't matter what classification that they were, sexual orientation. If you get the virus, you got the virus. I don't know why people diseases don't discriminate. I don't know a disease discriminate that go to based on an ethnic group. Never. But in America, and that's why we're a racist country. And some people are right in other parts. We are the racist country because we put things on people. Then we paint the narrative and say, well, this many people are going to get it. Well, African Americans are going to be higher risk than these other people. Why are we separate? Then that part says, if we all about human beings, why are we separate human beings based on race? And why do we got to pick African Americans and other people? You don't ever hear me say white people. White people are like, or Caucasian to white is likely to get this disease. They don't do that. African Americans are at a high risk of high blood. African Americans, it's like you would think that the whole doggone black, even the athletes, is subjected to that because they're black. This is how programmed we are. We even program on us, even in TV program, even though that, and so let's just say let's say that white people make it a serial killer. Well, anybody could be a serial killer. Don't necessarily have to mean that they're white. Well, you've seen black serial killers, but they got it. But they don't say that. What? It's very seldom they say that. Another thing that they do, your bank, your security system. Do you know that they codify in some banking institution on your credit? So if you are black, you still put on the codified system. In this country, here you pay your taxes, probably have a business, a work, you can make 5, 6 figures, and they're gonna put you under a certain class because you're African American. What you doing with it with an 800 score? So even your banking institution is a legacy that they charge the blacks more for interest rate than the other race. When they go to sell their house, if you're a black person who is a middle class, upper class, you go and sell your house, you can't leave pictures in your house. You have to get a white family to come in order to get a high price on your house. And so, Mr. Arbery, it's all about race, but it's about race. They do that to your children. The black children are likely to have low IQ income scores because their brain functions is that da 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 da. But we're human though. But yeah, of course they are, because you even though, so the whole system is racist, in other words. And black people can't be supremacists because black people don't run any of those industries. What I'm telling you about. I like when they say black supremacy. What do black supremacy? Because that's supremacy when you can control the banking system. It's supremacy when you can control the housing market. It's supremacy when you control the voting areas. It's supremacy when you control the medical area, and you putting these stats out like that. And then you subjugate the people when it comes to the area of their housing, the access to clean water and clean things, because they're impoverished. And they have, and this country has a history of it. There's a medical history of it. When it comes to certain medications, they know that would kill more black people. They know this. This is how deep racism. What I'm saying, this is how deep it is. And when someone revealed it, it's the studies is there. When it comes to the banking industry, the studies is there. They got certain groups of people that they favor to, and the other groups they don't. This country, we got every race of people, and they take a 10% of black wealthy people, 95% of white people, compared to 50% of black people with wealth. And that's just the black and white. That's not including with the other races of people. This is my opinion, but this is the truth. But this is a country that nobody won't want to talk about this. This offends somebody. It's probably going to offend somebody, but it's fact. Everything what I'm saying to you is fact. It's out there on social media as they speak, and educate people. And when I go to different platforms, I have to go to the black platform because sometimes certain white platforms, they don't want to address stuff like this. So one good thing about black people willing to dress up about this is telling you this is the reality. This was going on. This going on in the medical. This going on in the financial and things. So I'm rounding down to this conclusion as far as freedom of speech. And it's true when you're on someone's platform, you do. But one thing about when it comes to particularly become the race that they despise the most and don't like the most, and they get jealous the most and envious the most, is when they get in the music field and on the basketball court, in the football field, and what the majority of people look like. So they think that they look at those people, those certain stars and musicians, and say that, well, see, they did it, yeah, but they're a small percentage of the micro of other people. Not that saying that other people are not poor and thing, but when it comes to race, that's what it comes down to. People That's why I use the segment. We visible until we invisible. See, the visible blacks are your celebrities. The invisible blacks are the everyday black. But when you're a celebrity, oh yeah, you're a celebrity and you go along, get along any part of certain rituals of what they do to black people, be they puppet, be they toy, yeah. No, they don't. You're their favorite black that they can. You're supposed to entertain them. That's how some people are in different places, and some black people go right along with it in high places. And just like the case with Kyle Irving, you get the Shaquille O'Neals and them. They your goody blacks. Your Stephen A. Smith, they your goody blacks. But when you have a Kyle Irving and Kanye speaking true, wait a minute, you being racist, you being prejudiced. What did he say? And Kanye had to do something outrageous and pull out an all-white T-shirt because of an organization like Black Lives Matter that was funded by some leftist group that was propagandized, and the propaganda was from some liberal LGBT company, white LGBTQ company that pushed the Black Lives agenda. So, and then subconsciously people saw Black Lives Matter. That's when you see here, Blue Lives Matter, White Lives Matter. Why they got White Lives Matter? But so Kanye did that. There's something outrageous like that. Just for controversy, just for stir up controversy. And some of us is brightened up. We see right through it. But what I'm saying is, we always see race, and your children is going to learn about race, because in each generation is taught and given to be racist to another, not too highly of another generation of people. It may not come out of your home, but somebody in your neighborhood, in your part of the state, your county, someone is going to get into a conversation at a picnic or in someone's living room and start telling it. And you will see. Just get around and start looking at and having some political about different groups of people. Whether it could be Hispanic people, it could be black people, and you want to find out where somebody's staying at, they'll let you know. That's how you find about people when they really think about race. And I've been in a crosshair where people have said some things right in front of me, and it was not of my nationality. Some were white, but they felt like they can do that. And I was kind of shocked. But I said, when you get to a certain point in time, don't be surprised. That's why I said, when you live long in this life, you learn about things, and they don't think that you know, because they think perception is that you're inferior minded. So if you're inferior minded, you ain't supposed to know things like that, because of the demographic of where you live, the assumption and shit, you're criminal minded. You come, and that's what it is. There's some people, not everybody, but there's some people. I'm talking about the people that do, and you should have to explain to somebody. Oh, you do. You know, the people who know that do it, they have the mindset that's in denial. They're the ones that do it, and they do it with sneaky little innuendos and jokes and stuff. They do sneaky things. I'm just keeping it real. Sometimes some things ain't always direct in your face. When I made the comment about, and I'm funny when I hear somebody say they couldn't handle someone like Donald Trump, because I can't believe some of the things he said. You know why? Because some people want him to stay on cold. You ain't supposed to be saying stuff like that. That's something that we keep among each other. That's why I kind of mentioned that about that video. I did a video about that. You jumping off code. We supposed to let these people know how we really feel about them. But yeah, I can't believe I thought this stuff fade out. No. Racism is not going to fade out until Jesus stepped his foot on this planet. It's not going to fade out. I don't even if it's light versus dark, and then it's a totem pole effect. And sometimes it can be motivated by political, and motivated by stereotype, and all other reasons why people discriminate. But no, it's not going away. Can you avoid it and get away from it? Yes, but somewhere around you, it's going to kind of indirectly say something, and they might see how the way you're going to respond. It could be two white people. And they do that because you're not black. Why are you getting offended? And you might say that's just completely wrong. I don't think that's opinion. Well, you know that they're low-minded, don't you? This is what they, you know what I'm saying? But in their mind, they think like this. You might not come from a family, maybe your mom did, dad did tell you people are really equal. But this is America. And it's all around you in your job, in your education system, in your justice system. There are bigoted people that they execute it out in their way. Where you work at, and maybe you haven't come across until someone crack a joke. When they say something about a group of people, first they start out with some other people, and they slowly get around to the other people. Well, this is something that they do among each other, but sooner or later, what they do among each other, they're gonna eventually do on probably kind of code it up online. Because what some people do, what you see is what you really get. And people code things, and they don't think you know things. And some things most of us don't catch. This stuff I didn't know overnight. It took time to be around people, to see who people really are. Any people you go to, even people that don't even look like you, look like me, I gotta know where they're coming from. That's a fact. But yeah, that's what I want to say. I hope that it's just it's my food for thought. I know this video ain't gonna be shared. Right? Well, it won't be like, oh, so God. But it is what it is. But it all started out the fact that you can't stop people. The internet, we live in a technology age. Ignorance is going to get out one way or the other. The only thing you can do when it comes your way, comes around you, comes at someone who's younger than you, is try to educate them and tell them the reality of this world. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't sugarcoat nothing. Let them know what the reality of the world is. So they have an understanding. See, when we communicate like this, but when we don't talk about things like this, so when these crazy things come up, then people they're shocked. But if they kind of be open, have an open dialogue about it, it's the reality. And you need to hear the other side of a person. Don't assume, and don't avoid, and don't deny, and don't avoid. It's like having something in your body you know is there, but you're denying, avoid. But sooner or later, it's going to eat you up to the point it can put you down. So it's good to get it checked out, get it dealt with now before and that's the same thing in life. I'm just being real honest. Some things I had to find out on my own. If you're a younger person listening to this video, you may not understand, or maybe you have, but the reality is, you'll soon come across somebody, and as you as you age in this earth, as you get older, you'll think of, I'll be one of the people you say, yeah, he was right. He was right. Wait till God show you the reality. TV can fantasize your mind, but sometimes it's good to have a good outlook on life, but it's good also have a realistic life on life too. Because reality is all around you. We live in reality. When you live in a fantasy world, and whatever is uncomfortable is about to get this uncomfortable. It don't matter where you live at, whether you in a shack or to $100 million mansion, or in a $100 million neighborhood. When a crisis comes, it comes. So my name is James. Till next time, you guys take it easy, be blessed, and enjoy your day. And hope you enjoy this video. Take care.